A very good morning, everyone. Today we'll be studying the third part of our unit fifth, which pertains to farm records. And in this part, we will be studying a financial farm record that is called a balance sheet. So let's move on to that slide directly. Here is the balance sheet. Let me find it out. Let's go for it. So, what is a balance sheet? Balance sheet is also called as a net worth statement. It is the second name. You will get why we call it as net worth statement. It shows the condition, the financial condition, the money related condition of the farm business at any point of time in the year. You can make it at any point of time in the year. It does not need to have a particular date or a particular period. You can make it at any point you want. Okay, if you want to know the situation today, you can make the balance sheet today. It shows the value. It shows if the value of assets that a farmer has is more or less than the liabilities he has. Okay, and net worth. What is net worth? Net worth is the value of assets minus the value of liabilities. The difference in value of assets and value of liabilities. If net worth is positive, that means assets are more than liabilities. Okay, and if net worth is less than 0, that means negative. That means the value of assets is less than liabilities. And when the value of assets is greater, that means your business is solvent. And if your value of assets is lesser, that means your business is insolvent. Now, what do we mean by solvency? Solvent or solvency? Solvency is the ability to pay one's debt. If a farmer has the ability to pay his debts, that means the loans he has taken from different organizations, people for different periods, if he has the capacity to pay it back, then his business, his enterprise of cropping or any other kind he may be doing is called as solvent. If his net worth is positive. Okay. What are the assets we'll be discussing later, and what are the liabilities we'll also be discussing them in detail in this part of in this part of the unit. Okay, what are the assets? Assets that a farmer might have many things which if he takes to the market for selling, he will get a price for it and he can get some money out of it. That is his asset. There are assets are classified in three parts: long term, intermediate, and current assets. We'll start from downside. Assets Current assets are which are most liquid and can be easily sold and converted into cash. Okay, most liquid means that are like cash or can be converted into cash. There is huge demand for them. You can just sell it at any point of time and you can get cash instantly. Livestock that is there for sale. Crop produce that you have seeds, agrochemicals, cash in hand. Cash in hand is actually cash. Okay, so these are your current assets. Okay, intermediate assets, these are partially liquid because it takes some time to sell them and convert them into cash. Machinery, equipment, and livestock, sometimes it takes time for us to find people who are actually able to buy these assets from us and give us cash, because these are not, the value of these things is a little high, so there are not many customers for these things instantly. Okay, long term assets, it takes a long time for us to sell them and get them converted into cash. Let's say I want to sell my land. I'm a farmer in the village. There will be very few interested people and they might not be having any money right now to purchase that thing. It might take years to sell that land, that piece of land, or that piece of building or tubewell parts. It will take me a lot of time to sell them and convert them into cash, so that's why it is called as non-liquid. Okay, it takes time, a lot of time. Similarly, liabilities, when we owe money to others, it is a liability. We are supposed to pay it back. Okay, when we have taken a loan of any kind from anybody, we are supposed to repay it. This loan is our liability. Okay, we are supposed to honor this liability. Again, the liabilities are classified into three parts: long term, intermediate, and current. We'll go from current. Current liabilities, these are supposed to be paid from 6 months to 3 months to 18 months, or can say 6 months to 18 months, depends on the what kind of crop you got your loan for. These kind of loans are crop production loans. That is Kisan Credit Card loan, which is given to you for crops. Now these days it has been increased. The allocation in Kisan Credit Card has been is being given for raising livestock. That is called as Pashu Kisan Credit Card. You can get loan for buffalo, cow, sheep, goat, poultry, fish, shrimp, and other aquatic organisms. Okay, so this is supposed to be repaid within 6 to 18 months. So it is not a very long time. That's why these are called as current liabilities. Okay. Intermediate liabilities, you have to repay them in between 18 to 5 years, 18 months to 5 years. Just like machinery loans of different types of machinery I mentioned here. It is the amount of these loans is in terms of several lakhs. Okay, and the installments are also big. Generally, the installments are biannually. Okay, so the installments are big, the amount of loan is big, it takes a lot of time to repay them. That's why these are called as intermediate liabilities. You are supposed to repay, you are supposed to honor this liability in intermediate period of time. Okay, long term liability, it is loan for 5 years to up to 20 years. You are supposed to repay it in the span of 5 years to 20 years. Generally, the installment starts after 5 years. Okay, you can understand how big the amount might be. These kind of loans are given for big investments on your farm, land reclamation, tube well, orchard loans. These might range up to 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs. You're making any kind of, let's say, cold storage. So these are big loans. They need a lot of time for repayment. Generally, paid in terms of annual installments. Okay, so now I think you have understood what do we mean by liability. So many of you might have liability. You might own some money to your friends. That is your liability. Okay. No matter how big the amount is, how small the amount is, I know that money you are not going to pay them in any period of time. So I cannot classify it as a current liability, intermediate, or a long-term liability. It depends on people. Depends on people. Generally, friends do not pay back that money. So it is a liability, but I know you are not going to pay it. Next, let's see what a net worth statement looks like. There are two parts of this net worth statement as we discussed: assets on the left side, liabilities on the right side of this net worth statement. Assets we have classified current, intermediate, long term. What are the assets we have? Let's say it is a hypothetical farm and the farmer has 15,000 in cash, 50,000 in bank account. Feed and grains value he has is of 25,000. Standing crop is worth 2 lakhs. Okay, and livestock products he does not have any. Intermediate assets, he has some machinery and equipments worth 7 lakh rupees. Few livestock that is worth 2 lakh 50,000 rupees. Long term asset, this is a major asset: land 50 lakh rupees, farm building 3 lakh rupees, tube well 75,000 rupees, and some other farm investments such as boundary walls and some other things you can imagine of. So these are long term assets. If a farmer is in a very precarious situation, he can actually try to sell all these things. They are going to take different you can say different amounts of time, but he can sell all these things and convert them into money and use that money however he wants. Okay, so let's see, the farmer has total assets of 67 lakh 40,000 rupees. Let's say, and now let's see how much of liabilities, how much of money does he owe people. Short term loan 2 lakh of KCC he has taken. Fertilizers and seed he has bought from the local village trader. Okay, without paying any money. That's why he needs to pay for fertilizer and seed later on. He has not paid any money. And annual installment of term loans. Term loans are generally machinery loans and long term loans. These are called as term loans. Their installment that is supposed to be paid annually will come under current liability. Okay, but the remaining amount will be coming under intermediate and long term liability. Okay, loan on machinery and equipment, the remaining amount this much, sorry, remaining amount of 3.5 lakh rupees. And loan on livestock 2 lakh 25,000 rupees. I don't know what is happening with this thing. And long-term loan, he has also taken an Orchard loan of 4,50,000 rupees. So the total liabilities are 8,34,000. Net worth is assets minus liabilities. As you can see here, the net worth of this farmer is 59 lakh rupees. Okay, so his net worth is positive. That means his business is solvent in the long run. Okay, right now in the long run, but we will see. uh, this solvency thing is also calculated for different time frames. We will be discussing them using important ratios that will be calculated using this data. Okay, all this data that is present here. Let's see now. Let's discuss them. Some important ratios related to a balance sheet. First one is a current ratio. Second one is a working ratio. Current ratio is also called as a liquidity ratio. It shows the liquidity situation of your firm. It is calculated by total current assets divided by total current liabilities. The value here is, let's say, let's put in a hypothetical value. The total current assets are 2 lakh. The total current liabilities are 1 lakh. So the current ratio is 2. It should always be greater than 1, and higher the ratio, it is better. Okay, it shows that the current assets, that is, which are easily converted into cash, you have enough ready cash with you to pay your current liabilities. Okay, this is what it shows. It shows your liquidity position. That means how much of money you're having at hand for paying off your liabilities. Working ratio, it is kind of a mixed ratio. It indicates liquidity also and solvency also. Solvency means debt paying power of a firm. A liquidity position or solvency position over an intermediate period of time. Intermediate period means 18 months to 5 years, and it is calculated by current plus intermediate assets value divided by current plus intermediate liabilities value. Let's say 2 lakh plus 3 lakh and divided by 1 lakh plus 1.5 lakh. How much would it be? 5 lakh divided by 2.5 lakh. It is around 2. So it should also be always be greater than 1, and higher the value, it's better for us. Okay. Net capital ratio, it is given by total amount of assets divided by total amount of liabilities. Let's see, what was it? 67 lakh divided by 8.34 lakhs. It was 67 lakh divided by, let's say, 8 lakh rupees. Okay, so it indicates the debt repaying power of a firm in the long run. It indicates solvency over a long period of time. Let's say over a period of 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Is the firm going to stay there? Okay, with its present position, or is it going to go away because it has a lot of debts? All right, now let's move on to some other. This is a solvency ratio. Okay, this shows liquidity. This shows both liquidity, because see, I am saying these things and you might find some different text in different books, because different books say different things about these things. So I am teaching you both the things. This working ratio was indicated as a liquidity ratio in some text and solvency ratio in some other text. That's why I'm using both the words. These all three also show solvency position of a firm. Debt to asset ratio, total debt your firm has divided by total assets of your firm. Total liabilities, you might be having in say 2.5 lakh, and total assets worth of 5 lakh rupees. This is actually the inverse of net capital ratio, where it is given by total assets by total liabilities. What it shows how much of your what amount of debt you have in proportion to your assets. 10 to 30% of debt in proportion to your total value of assets is okay for big firms. Higher ratio means higher amount of money is being used for interest payment. If you are going to have, let's say, 50% of debt to asset ratio, that means you are having more debt. More debt means you are supposed to pay more installments for repaying the debt. More installments mean you are paying more money as interest. Okay, Equity to asset ratio. Equity means net worth. Okay, net worth is also called as equity total assets minus total liabilities divided by total assets. This is equity to asset ratio. The formula is hidden inside the name of the ratio we are trying to understand. Okay, this shows us the financial situation of the firm. Higher value means less risk. Higher value, that means we are having the value of our assets is way more than our liabilities divided by assets. If this value is going to be higher, that means we are having a lot of money in our hand and we do not need to worry about anything. There is very less risk. Okay, if this value is low, that means our assets are not very much more than the liabilities. Okay, so they are just equal and we are in a precarious situation, we are in a risky position. Debt to equity ratio, debt means total liabilities divided by net worth. It's again a simple ratio. If the total debt as a percentage of your net worth is very high, if this ratio is very high, that means uh, there are a lot of loans that you are supposed to repay, and the proportion of these loans as part of your net worth is high. That means you have to pay a lot of money for repaying those loans and your situation is not very good. Okay, this ratio should be as less as possible. Now these are the important ratios associated with the balance sheet, and there is one more, margin of safety, which is quite interesting. Let's say the net capital ratio, which is given by total assets divided by total liabilities of two farms, wherein total assets, uh, wherein the total assets of a farm A are 40,000, total liabilities 30,000, farmer B 20,000 and 10,000. The net capital ratio is 1.3 and 2.0. Okay, simple formula. Net worth here is same. Total assets minus total liabilities is same for both the farmers. But net capital ratio, when net worth ratio is same, shows a different picture. It shows that farmer B is in a much safer position than a farmer A. The smaller one is in a much safer position. How is he in a safer position? Let's say for the farmer A, if the value of his assets, which is 40,000, okay, if the value of his assets reduces by 25% in prices, if the assets he has, their prices even reduce by 25%, that means it will be gone to 30,000 rupees. The value of his assets will remain 30,000 rupees. Margin of safety is gone entirely. His total assets will be equal to total liabilities. His net capital ratio will be equal to 1. Okay, but farmer B, decline of 50% prices is required in terms of asset. His asset value is 20,000. If the prices of asset reduce by 50%, it will, wait a second please, I need to go for it again. If the prices of his assets reduce by 50%, it will be, the value of his assets will become 10,000. And still, even after reduction in 50% price, 50% of prices, his total assets will be equal to total liabilities and his net capital ratio will be equal to 1. So see, farmer A 25% decline, farmer B even after the net worth was same, farmer A was stepped into a danger zone once the prices reduced 25%, but farmer B was still safe, and if the price is reduced by 50%, then only he will be in a danger zone. So margin of safety for farmer A was around 30%, see 1.3, and margin of safety for farmer B was 50%, 2.0. Okay, 50% reduction in prices, and you can also call it as 25%. Okay. Now let me see if there is anything else remaining with this lecture. No, no, thank you. We have discussed the what is a balance sheet. What is a balance sheet actually, or a net worth statement? What are assets, their classification, liabilities and their classification? An example of a balance sheet. What are the important solvency or liquidity ratios attached to a balance sheet and what do they tell us? And margin of safety. Thank you very much.